Hey Earth sign, we have a total lunar eclipse coming up at 12:13 degrees in Virgo on the South Node axis on March 3rd, 2026. For Earth signs, this energy shows up in your strategy of living. What have you been putting your time into? How does your habits serve you at this time? Sorry, that music was so distracting. Your attention is being directed towards the fine details in your life right now. Maybe work isn't hitting on shit and it's time for a revamp. Maybe you're tired of overextending yourself for that relationship, Taurus. Once you stop and take a look at your daily rituals, you might start nixing things that no longer work, but keeping things that do seem to serve you right now. Keep in mind that this is a South Node eclipse, and that's important because that means that we're not focused on new growth at this time. Right now, we're focused on refinement of what already exists in our lives. Let go of the obligations that keep you stuck so you can move towards your natural baseline. Bottom line, suffering is not necessary for success. Often, the smallest changes in your daily ritual can make real progress towards the things that you're hoping will bring you success. For Virgo, you may have already been on this self improvement train. The energy around this eclipse is releasing you from old rules and rituals that no longer really reflect your truth. For Taurus, you might be cutting back. You may have been a little overindulgent in things or people or substances, but ultimately they're dampening your ability to be happy and feel normal in your own skin without added extras. For Capricorn, you're releasing rigidity in your plans for the future. It doesn't have to happen in one specific way, and you're opening yourself up to the possibilities. This isn't necessarily about becoming better. It's more about being complete where you are right now and making small incremental changes to accomplish your goals. Let's get into the collective reading. Hi, Earth sign. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and get into the general energies around this eclipse. Wow. Two of Cups with the Lovers coming out. I think a lot of you are in union with things that you're not necessarily vibing with. This could be a relationship, a job, anything. The Lovers isn't always a relationship. Sometimes it's a union with a company, a union with friends. Yeah, I think you're starting to see the truth about something. It feels like you may not feel like you're on a trajectory that's going to be victorious for you. With the Five of Cups on the top of the deck, it's looking like you may be a little sad about the position that you hold right now. It could be something that's not panning out in the way that you had hoped with the Empress and the Five of Cups. With the Two of Cups and the Lovers reverse, this is telling me that, yeah, and the Devil flips out. I'm definitely getting a toxic vibe here. Could be from a boss that is lacking in boundaries. It could also be a relationship where things are going pretty toxic. But I think with this eclipse, it's opening your eyes to the truth about something in regards to this. Let's get some tea. What is this truth that my earth signs are picking up on? Put one on the Two of Cups. Healing. Chaos. There's an energy here that feels like you've put a lot of time, energy, and effort into healing yourself and putting yourself back to a baseline, like back to a normal, back to a place where you're not feeling so chaotic within your own body. And this relationship has thrown you off. It could be a relationship, a job that has really thrown you off. Put one on the Lovers reversed. Masked, yeah. This is bringing me to, so the Lovers is not necessarily a good or a bad card because it's, number one, it's a major arcana, and number two, because you can see the good and the bad in a person. When you're in love with them, when you're with them, you see the good and the bad. You don't see just one side of this person. You don't see just the beauty or just um the things that you love about them. You see the good and the bad, and the ugly. And I think that you are realizing, earth sign, that there's some things that you've been involved with in your life that you didn't necessarily have a clear view on. And you can thank Neptune and Pisces for that. Now that we're finally coming out of that dreamy, floaty, head in the clouds, feet in the mud energy, it's definitely opening your eyes to some sort of chaos that's upheaval. It's bringing upheaval in your life when you've already done a bunch of work to put yourself back on the ground. And it makes sense with you being an earth sign. You're very grounded, and you like to keep yourself in a position that feels stable for you, feet on solid ground. But this union, whatever it is causing some sort of upheaval in your life, and you're feeling like you need to walk away. With masked intention, I think that the mask has come off, and I think that you're seeing this for what it truly is, and you're realizing that you don't need to be in union with this anymore with the Lovers reversed. Pulling on the Ace of Swords, what's this truth? That doesn't even belong in this deck, but I'm gonna keep it because it flipped out. With time, lucky you, with time on the bottom of the deck. Things are turning in your favor. Take advantage of this opportunity and make the most out of it. Yeah, with this card here, this eagle that's carrying this wreath is a sign of victory. The wreath is a sign of victory. With the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Swords is a card of truth. Truth is being revealed, truth is being spoken. I think that something revealed itself in this situation just in time. With time on the bottom of the deck and lucky you, something about this situation revealed itself right on time. Before you made a bad choice, before you made a decision that was going to change your life entirely, something came out and you were able to see through what was actually happening here. What's the truth of this situation? Longing. You could have been longing for a specific outcome. Maybe you really wanted love, or maybe you really, really wanted this job to work out. And you were at the point where you're like, I'm going to make this work by any means necessary. And you almost made a decision that could have cost you. With situations about to explode on the bottom of the deck, shit's about to pop off and up in flames. You could have almost made a decision to, let's say you were planning on relocating and you were going to move really far away from your hometown or where you live right now. Everything is solid and stable where you live right now, but you've just been longing for more in life. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's friends, it's vibes, it's drinks, it's a nice atmosphere, very romantic, very cutesy. Like you're longing for something more in your life. You're unsatisfied. I'm getting this deep unsatisfaction. You went from being healed where you were and getting into union with something that started to cause chaos in your life because something about it got unmasked. And you're realizing that you no longer need to be in long-term union or contract with this thing, and it's causing you a lot of tension. And you found out the truth about this right in time, and that was lucky because you were about to make a decision that was going to implode your whole life. With now you're keeping distance from this situation. Yeah, with waves, it's giving me this energy of like you wanted something different for your life. You wanted something more for your life, and maybe you were about to up, like I was saying, you're about to up and relocate to somewhere, and you thought that it was going to give you what it is you're longing for. A lot of the time, it has nothing to do with the thing that you want. It's the thing, what you think the thing is going to make you feel like. Let's say you have a fully paid off Toyota, old school, and you want to go get a brand new Maserati, and you're like, well, I can afford it, but it also is going to kind of put me in a little bit of a position where my money's kind of tight if I do this. Okay, you go get the car and then all of a sudden you lose your job, or all of a sudden your income changes and now you're responsible for this car. You've already taken out the contract and the loan for it, and now you're stuck in payments and you have no idea how you're going to pay it, and your life just imploded because what you really wanted was the freedom that you felt that that Maserati was going to give you. Maybe you felt it was going to give you a certain kind of presence or vibe, but all of a sudden you're seeing the truth for what it was. And before you made this decision, you decided, something came out and you decided, I'm not going to make this decision. I'm not going to change my life in this way because things were going to go left, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, with stagnant, there's, like I was saying, it's like this longing energy because there's a feeling of stagnance in your life. There's a feeling of I just want to, I want a certain outcome, I want a certain look, I want a certain vibe, I want a certain income, I want, you know what I'm saying? Like life does not look the way that you want it to look right now. But unfortunately, it seems like the things that you may have been putting your energy into up to this point have kind of caused you to be thrown a little bit more off balance. And I think the eclipse is really opening your eyes to that at this time. With blocked. Yeah. Ultimately, you've decided to let go of whatever this longing fantasy was that you felt was going to get you past stagnancy and move on from it. This could also be a person that you are blocking out of your life, or you're feeling like you're stagnant, you have nothing else to say, you're done dealing with this person, you're not going to continue to let them talk to you. I think that, what's this devil here? Yeah, fighting for what you love after blocked on the bottom of the deck. It's like you're done fighting and trying to put yourself into a better situation by force, and you're starting to really look at, well, what would actually bring me the happiness that I need. Because with the devil, we're also taking a look at the things that we're like obsessing over or addicted to, things that we're in bondage with. Because the chains in the devil card, universally, no matter what deck you look at, if there are two people chained to the devil's throne, the chains are always so loose that they could take them off. It just requires them to make the choice. It requires them to look at their situation, see where they're keeping themselves in bondage willingly, and then decide to release it. And this looks to me like you are deciding to release it. That's what this energy is bringing in for you. Put one on the devil. Yeah, with nurturing, it's definitely giving me this vibe of like keeping yourself in bondage with something because you were hoping for an outcome that just doesn't exist, and you're realizing that you need to divorce from it or break the contract. Let's take a look at your career. I'm going to clear the board. Okay, let's get some cards from my career deck. All these decks are like decks that I have mixed together. But fuck it, they my own, right? Okay. Tell me about the Earth signs career during this eclipse. Transformation changes the natural order of things. Don't be afraid of the unknown. Shopping. Okay, let's get a couple more out. With damage on the bottom of the deck, going back to the previous spread that I was talking about, you could have been thinking about making a big purchase, a big decision with your finances, and it would have caused damage long term. Yeah, because with partnership, you would have been in contract with this thing, and maybe things weren't going the way that you ultimately would have wanted it to go in the end, because you're like, I'm feeling like defaulting on an auto loan or defaulting on a mortgage or something along those lines, because your situation is in a state of flux right now. It's in a state of transformation. Or you could be wanting transformation and now it's just not the best time. Especially because we're moving into Mercury retrograde on February 26th. And so Right now we're in the pre-shadow. Mercury retrograde is nothing to be afraid of. It's just a time of refinement. It's a time of looking back at the decisions that we've made up to this point and deciding whether those decisions were good for us or not, and deciding if that's how we really want to move. It's double checking contracts. It's double checking emails before you send them. It's tech issues that may come up. It's just a time of refinement. Yeah. Ultimately, though, it's not a bad energy around your career. What I'm picking up is that if you're going through transformation right now, you don't have to be, but if you're going through transformation right now, it's for the best. And any moves that you were planning on making by spending a little bit too much money is probably not a good time right now, but the blessings will come. Notice that it says unexpected fortune is about to come. So enjoy the blessings that are pouring in. Your finances will do well. You could even be someone who does content or feeling like you want to get started. It's time to be seen and show your talent to the world. Your business is getting more audience at this moment. With financial security and direction, I think that you're really wanting to find a way to make yourself more secure in your career at this time. So you could be thinking of other ventures to try to put yourself out there. Really, the thing that's going to benefit you the most at this time is balance. Finding a way to balance out your career, finding a way to balance out your finances. That's going to be what brings in the most blessings for you. With Just Do It on the bottom of the deck. Procrastination will not bring any success at this time. This is the best time to put your plans into action. Just do it. And it doesn't even have to be like, let's say you want to get into content creation. You don't have to spend every minute of every day creating content. You don't have to be perfect. Go back to my first video on the channel and you will see that I have gone through my ups and downs with this journey. I have gotten all of my stuff. I have deleted it. I have reposted. I have hidden my face. I have stuck with the cards. It's just a balancing act. It's an up and down. I heard somebody say something on TikTok the other day where they said that you realize that the steps back are just part of the dance. You know what I'm saying? The steps that you had to take where you fell backwards were just part of the whole process. And so this isn't necessarily a time to beat yourself up about anything. It's really more of a time to refine what has worked and get rid of what hasn't so you can make real moves forward. What will be the outcome for Earth signs, career, and income? It says money conflicts and cutting corners, but also breakthrough and defense. So if you are going through a transformation where you're cutting things off right now, you will break through. Yeah, with award-winning money, payoff for effort, recognition, advancement, professional work, or fame. So I think that you're definitely at a point where you're ready to break through the wall of whatever it is that you've been running up against. And it's time for you to be able to move forward and start making the moves that make sense for you. With Buddha, life purpose, more than money, spiritual wealth, counselor, being guided, and divine path. Trust the path right now, Earth signs. Trust that the universe has your back. Trust that God, the divine spirit, Buddha, Allah, whatever you believe in, that has your back and they're leading you in the right direction. They're going to make sure that you end up exactly where you need to, and there's no need for you to stress about anything. Just embrace the change at this time and allow it to bring you back into balance. Love you.